Our reality, the life we perceive and interact with every day, the conditions and events that shape our existence, are born out of an essential three-stage process. This process unwinds systematically to create an end result. For those of you who are intrigued by the workings of our minds and existence, who have delved into the intricacies of the process of discovery and creativity, the term trivium might ring a bell. This term originates from ancient traditions, embodying a process integral to the way our reality is shaped. The trivium is structured around the triad of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. To put it into perspective, consider an architect planning to build a house. Initially, he gains knowledge about the requirements of the house, like the number of rooms, the style, and so forth. Following this, he seeks to understand these requirements better, reflecting on how to design the rooms, where to place the windows, how to style the house. Finally, he applies wisdom, integrating his previous experience in the rules of architecture to create a blueprint that combines all the elements harmoniously. This is what the trivium process is about. However, in contemporary times, this method of truth discovery has vanished from the collective consciousness. This may sound surprising, but many of us have never heard the term trivium. Unfortunately, this ignorance isn't by chance. The classical liberal arts education methodology, sometimes referred to as the Trivium Method, has been intentionally obscured. The intent appears to be to sanitize this valuable process from public consumption and knowledge, similar to how an old yet precious book might be purposefully hidden in a library's dusty, rarely visited section. It's up to us to bring this book back into the light, to dive into it, understand its implications, and apply it. That's the most significant message I can convey about the trivium. Understanding the trivium is a key component in constructing our reality, which can lead us either towards a path of creative efficiency or down a destructive path. To illustrate this, consider a farmer. If the farmer understands the processes of planting and growing, if he applies knowledge, understanding, and wisdom to his farming, he will have a fruitful harvest. If not, his efforts might lead to a poor yield or even ruin his field. Similarly, understanding the principles of natural laws can guide us in life. Before we can comprehend how these laws express themselves in our everyday lives, which will be covered in the next segment, it's crucial to explore the underlying principles of how natural laws operate first. These foundational principles of natural law, as I like to call them, are expressed through 7 basic principles. In addition to these 7 principles, there's an 8th principle that often gets overlooked. Few researchers, even those studying from the perspectives of occultism or consequentialism, incorporate this hidden principle into their understanding. This elusive principle, which I like to call the lost principle, binds all the other 7 principles together, creating a comprehensive framework, much like how a binding thread unifies the beads in a necklace. When pieced together, these principles provide a master key, unlocking the door to universal wisdom and revealing the knowledge we need to fulfill our desires. Imagine you are in a dark room filled with treasures, and these principles are like the candle that lights up the room, allowing you to see and reach out to the treasures. This is how wisdom is de-occulted or unveiled. Those who have studied some forms of occultism may recognize these 7 principles as the Hermetic principles, a term derived from Hermes. Hermes Trismegistus, known as the Thrice Great One, is a central figure in the ancient Greek mystery traditions. He postulated 7 principles: mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. Let's delve into each principle and its implications. The principle of mentalism suggests that everything in creation is a manifestation of the mind. It's like a painter painting a picture. The image he creates on the canvas is a manifestation of his mental vision. Similarly, everything that happens is a result of a mental state that precedes it. For anything to exist or manifest, thoughts must form first, which then shape the physical reality. It's like the architect who visualizes the house in his mind before creating a blueprint. The universe itself is a mental construct of the creator, like a gigantic novel written by a cosmic author. Thoughts lead to the manifestation of things and events, like seeds planted in the ground leading to the growth of plants. Thoughts shape conditions, much like how an artist's thoughts shape the form and color of his painting. Thoughts create things and conditions, just like how a chef's thoughts about a recipe lead to the creation of a delicious meal. They can't magically manifest. The thought always comes first. Therefore, we must take responsibility for everything we create, as our thoughts drive our behaviors. Imagine if a driver was not held responsible for where his car went. Chaos would ensue. Similarly, if we don't take responsibility for our thoughts, our lives can become chaotic. People act the way they do because they have certain belief systems embedded in their minds, like programs running on a computer. Their thoughts and emotions drive their actions, like the motor and steering wheel guiding a car's movement. Consequently, behavior can't change abruptly. First, thoughts and emotions must change, like a car needing a shift in its direction before it can change its course. This shift will bring about a change in reality. However, many people resist this idea, like a stubborn mule resisting change in direction. They refuse to accept that changing reality requires changing the way they think, as their current thought patterns don't align with the requirements to achieve what they say they want. The principle of correspondence maintains that which is above is like that which is below. Think of this as a reflection in a lake. The image above the water's surface corresponds to the image reflected in the water. The above is the macrocosm. The laws governing large things, like the stars in the sky, and the below is the microcosm, the smaller components that form the whole, like the cells in our body. They reflect each other and they're interconnected, just as a change in the reflected image affects the reflection. A change in the microcosm affects the macrocosm. The universe is like a hologram, a flat image that, when a laser light is shown upon it, projects a three-dimensional image. When you break a hologram into pieces, you don't lose the complete image. Each piece still contains the entire image. This shows the interconnectedness of everything in the universe, affirming the correspondence between the microcosm and the macrocosm.